Hi guys, Lexizzle here, and today we're going to be talking about something that I just found out recently that I think is starting to get bigger and bigger, and it's about Helluva Boss. Before we start the video today, I just want to let everyone know that this is not going to be a video for everyone. It's going to be dark, and I am going to be mentioning some things that could be harmful or triggering to others. And this is especially for the Helluva Boss community. If you're watching this and you already know what I'm talking about, yeah, we're talking about that today. With that in mind, if you think that this is not going to be a good video for you, if this could be a harmful video, I really urge you not to watch this. I would recommend a bunch of other videos that I have on my YouTube channel. And if you're looking for something Helluva Boss specific, I do have a video where I did a drawing challenge about making my own succubi in the Helluverse universe. And that one is very more lighthearted, and I talk about the show and you get to watch me draw. But unfortunately, today is not going to be that fun video. So please, if this is too much, do not watch. Also, with that in mind, please don't go and bully or harass any of the people mentioned in this video. We don't promote that kind of stuff here on my YouTube. This video is honestly just more of a video essay that I wanted to talk about. And I'm not gonna lie, I'm already nervous talking about it, but I haven't seen a lot of people on YouTube talk about it. And with the way this video is being brought up on TikTok, especially without any warnings, I feel like videos like this need to be out there. Of course, there's going to be some points where I kind of bring up my own opinion, but I'm not going to go and bash anybody. If anything, I am just going to give criticism. With that all mentioned and talked about, let's get right into the video. So today we're going to be talking about a certain fan animation that was made on April 18th, 2025. I was just chilling in my bed for the night watching TikTok, which is what I usually do when I try to fall asleep and get ready for bed. And occasionally when I don't have Disney park info or Epic Universe or even art shop related things on my For You page, I get a lot of fan edit stuff on my For You page. And as of recording this video lately, my For You page has been nothing but Hellsing edits and Helluva Boss edits. And on this particular night, I just had a slam dunk of amazing a la carte edits. The love of my life, my husbando. Oh. And after all those amazing edits, I ran into a certain Stolas edit. However, when I was watching it, I did notice there were some clips in the edit that looked like it was from the show, but I had never really seen it before. And at the very end, I saw something that was very shocking. Granted, it was censored, but it was still, I could tell what was going on. And there was a warning. Usually when I see spooky or creepy stuff like that online or disturbing things, I don't usually freak out about it unless it's like something that, you know, is like a dog video that's really, really sad. But from what I saw, it honestly, stuff like that, if you know, sometimes curiosity kills the cat. And I go and try to do some more research and try to see where that was from. Which then led me to a video called Now That You're Gone, Helluva Boss fan animation censored by the creator Dwinny. And immediately I could tell from the thumbnail that that was where I found those clips, especially the disturbing one at the very end, which led me down to researching it to then making a video about it. Before we talk about the video, let's talk about the creator. Dwinny is an animator on YouTube that joined in October of 2023, but started posting on YouTube on November 1st of 2023. And his first video happened to be a Helluva Boss animation. This one was called Goodbye Horses, and it was based off the events that happened during the accident at the circus that Blitz and Fizzy were at. And let me tell you, this was a pretty good animation. And sometimes, no offense to Fizzy Pop, because, you know, I love Helluva Boss and I do like Hazbin Hotel, but this was like, it was from, like, as good as it was from the show. This guy was good. This guy was a great animator. And from there, it looks like there were some other animations that he made that were not Helluva Boss related. And from what I researched, it looks like it was just in Russian. I didn't watch them. But then, out of nowhere, Dwinny posts the infamous Stolas fan animation. So let's talk about the video. The video is a fan-made animatic about Stolas. It's a 1 minute and 23-second long video, and right away it gives a trigger warning before you can even play the video. That's because of YouTube, which, thank you YouTube. TikTok should learn something from this, just a heads up. Even when you see the video, at least from when I looked it up on YouTube after everything that went happen, you could see that they have a suicide national hotline and some other information in regards to people who are feeling suicidal, which I think that is awesome, and more sites like TikTok should be using stuff like that. So once you hit that, you understand. Dwinny gives a warning. There will be blood. All tricks done by professionals. Don't try to repeat. It first shows Stolas putting away the grimoire and singing the song Now That You're Gone by the Raconteurs, all while Blitz is limping around with yellow feathers. Then it shows Stolas going about his royal life while Blitz is being comforted by Millie and Moxie. And at one point during this montage, Stella is holding Stolas' hand in a more kind of affectionate way, while Stolas is singing in front of the camera. Then it shows Stolas getting himself ready as the song goes on, but then it freezes as Stolas is looking at the camera. And at first he looks a little sad, but a little bit more frightened, and there's pictures of his family around in the hall that he is getting ready. Then as he continues singing Now That You're Gone, you start to notice that the portraits around him transition from his family to Blitz. His pupils start to show and he looks absolutely terrified. As he keeps singing and his pupils start to show even more, it's really tense. I'm not gonna lie, it's pretty scary. Then the next thing you know, in a matter of seconds, he's outside of Imp headquarters and pulls out something not so nice and ends up hurting himself really, really, really badly. It's hard for me to say this on YouTube because I don't know if this will get my video taken down. Obviously, I'm not going to show what happened, but if you get it, you get it. And again, in the video, it is censored, but you can still tell what's going on in the video. And then as soon as he falls to the ground, it shows the credits until the next thing you know, you see his body and Blitz runs over it, stops, and turns to him and goes, "Hey, wake up, asshole." And that's the infamous Now That You're Gone animatic. After the video was uploaded, multiple people then started to re-upload the video on TikTok, particularly that specific scene with Stolas. And without any warnings either. Even edit accounts who are making edits for Stolas comparing that animation to the actual show or trying to show Stolas in a better limelight don't always give out a warning to what is about to happen. I mean, that's how I found out about this video. I was just watching an edit of Stolas and all of a sudden, without any warning, I saw that scene. So let's get to the reaction to the video itself. Now, when I was looking up info for this video, I saw that there were a lot of mixed reactions. There were some people who thought that the video was too much and should be taken down, that this video traumatized them and made them incredibly sad for their comfort character. But there were also others who said that people were overreacting, that this video was an incredible animation, and that some people were being cringe about the whole situation. There were even some people who thought that this was canon because of how well the animation was. And it even made VisiPop release a statement on Blue Sky saying that Stolas was alive in canon. There were also some people online that said that what happened to Stolas in the video should have happened in the show, and that what happened in the animatic was better writing than in Helluva Boss. And damn, that's a little harsh. But you know, it's their opinion. If they feel like the writing in the animatic was better, then that's on them. When I looked to see the likes and dislikes for this animation, I saw that there were currently 93,763 likes, as well as 72 dislikes. Which honestly shocked me that the dislikes were so low based on the reactions that I was seeing online, on TikTok, on YouTube, and on Reddit. And quite frankly, based on the comments that I saw on one specific Reddit post, I feel like both sides have solid points, while other people don't really have solid points or are just kind of being mean to be mean. And it's coming from both sides. It's not just one side over the other, it's both sides. For instance, on the one Reddit post that I was looking at specifically, there was a phrase on the post that said, "Personally, I found it traumatizing, despite the fact that it's censored. Stolas is my comfort character, and a character that I have grown to relate to in regard to personality and a situationship. I also am one of those people who like to go to conventions as characters I feel I understand, him being one of them. It's bad enough witnessing something like that happening to my comfort character, but I know for me it personally hurt more because I've seen things like that in my real life, whether it be accidentally clicking the wrong thing on the internet or knowing it happened in my own neighborhood or old high school, and even just seeing the after effects. On top of that, there was a time where my head was in a dark place like that too, and I'm glad I got out of it, but again, I've seen things and know people who couldn't get out of their darkness. I saw the video just once. It set me into an entire PTSD episode, and my chest still hurts from how hard I was breathing. I grew nauseous and visibly pale. And it hurts knowing there are awful people in this fandom who feel this animation is deserved or better writing. I've never want to watch anything they create then. The detail was much, even through the censors. And I am a horror movie junkie, so if I could handle those but not this video, that should say enough. But then there was another comment that also struck my attention while reading that Reddit post. And this is from the other side. It says, "What's wrong with them? Who in their right mind would create such a thing? Personally, don't act so self-righteous and morally superior. Second, this artist does not owe the fandom anything just because Stolas is someone's favorite character. Secondly, this artist does not owe the fandom anything just because Stolas is some people's favorite character and comfort character. Thirdly, the idea of Stolas taking his own life is not far-fetched at all. I want you to think about Stolas' life. He lost his daughter, he was in a forced and abusive marriage, he lost his power and wealth all in one day. The general public hates him. His relationship with Blitz, while improving, was so incredibly toxic, with Blitz being his only real source of affection and connection. The man takes antidepressants. Stolas going down such a self-destructive route, if he didn't have anyone to support him through his grief, is not unfounded at all. Just because someone decided to explore that possibility with a very lovely animation, in my opinion, or any other dark and sensitive themes, does not mean anything is wrong with their brain. Such assumptions are insulting and discourteous. Obviously, it depends on how the themes were executed, but I believe the artist did a fine job. In a vacuum, I think it's very cool and interesting to explore these sorts of themes and possibilities. Now, looking at these comments, I could see that both have really solid points. And the first one, I could understand relating to these characters based on certain situations and watching them not only to relate, but to escape whatever kind of hell you're dealing with in reality. Because life can get really fucked up. So I'm sure to see the one character that you can truly relate to hurt themselves or deal with the same kind of situations that you have to deal with in real life has to be extremely heartbreaking and also a little bit triggering. But at the same time, the second comment is correct in saying that we should let the artist explore things that some people may not like. Ayla Mao on YouTube made a video about this, and I've noticed he's a content creator that just talks about Helluva Boss and Has Been Hotel, which you should check him out. But even he talked about this video, and during his video, he mentioned that the artist is just trying to honor the show and show a possible different universe, one where Stolas goes through everything he goes through without the comfort and help from Blitz. And when I watched the animation, I could see that too, especially when he is with Stella, because in the video you could kind of tell that Stella is like clinging on to his arm. And do you see her doing that in the show? Not that I could tell, and when I was looking back at certain clips from Helluva Boss, I couldn't see anywhere where she was being affectionate, but in that video she was. And then on top of that, you notice the outfit that he's wearing towards the end? It's the same outfit that his dad wore when we got to see that episode where we saw little baby Stolas, which I thought that was pretty creative. So to get this out of the way, because I'm already nervous about making this video, but I can't really make this video without stating how I feel. Personally, my opinion about this video is very mixed. Although I will say that there are some people on both sides that are quite mean and need to take a chill pill. Yes, this is a pretty dark subject to talk about, and if it weren't for YouTube's disclaimer before proceeding with the video, Winnie's disclaimer would never honestly have prepared me for what was going to happen. Because I'm not gonna lie, and in my opinion, personally, if you're going to show someone harming themselves the way that they did at the end of the video, I don't think the warning "there will be blood" is enough to warn people of what's about to happen in the video. That really should not be your only disclaimer, and that is the one thing I will criticize the animator for. But that being said, Helluva Boss is no stranger to dark subjects like this. There's constant talk in the show and constant viewings of violence, murder, sex, and to be honest, something like this shouldn't be as shocking as it is. But to counter that, I will say, back from going through the video, I can only recall one instance in the show where someone took their own life, and it was the very first episode with the teacher. But in that instance, you can only tell that she did it because the kids were around the computer that they were watching her husband have an affair with some other lady, but you can't see in the computer what's going on. All you see is just flashes, and we don't see the teacher hurting herself because then seconds after it happens, we see her in hell talking to Blitz, talk about going after the woman that her husband cheated on her with. Whereas in this video, though it's censored, we can pretty much see Stolas doing exactly what he's doing. It's blurred, but I don't think it was that blurred enough. And I don't know if the artist was trying to do that intentionally or not. Also, we need to talk about the part before that even happens with Stolas looking into the camera looking scared as fuck. It is a bit dark and scary and distressing, and it makes the audience feel very tense and nervous about what's about to happen. And to be fair, I don't think Helluva Boss has ever done something scary before. So I think maybe the reason why people are this upset is because when they're watching Helluva, like the people that watch Helluva Boss that don't like scary things probably didn't like that video, in my opinion. But then you have the Helluva Boss fans that did watch it and like horror and probably thought it was interesting. I honestly think maybe that's why a good chunk of the video has had criticism about why it should be taken down, which I don't agree about that. And I also have to point out that as far as opinions go on things like the video and posts like Reddit, the fandom either has really good criticism about the video or they just have straight up bullying. And not just to the creator, but to other commenters as well. I love Helluva Boss. I love the show, and I do like some Has Been Hotel too. But sometimes the fandom as a whole does give me vibes where there are people who can be really mean and say the most out-of-pocket shit and are very quick to go after one another. And then on top of that, you have people that also give criticism to the show. Most of them, when I see like video essays on YouTube, they're good criticisms and they're not really going after people that I know of. And when they do criticize Helluva Boss, it's mainly not only about the last season, but it's about the character Stolas as a whole. And that's honestly fair because it's their opinion. If they didn't like how the last season was made, that's fair. If they don't like Stolas as a character, that's also fair too. Let's just conclude the video with an overall thought. Overall, I definitely think this video is interesting. Did I like it? I'm not so sure. I loved the animation and I could tell that the artist did work very hard on this video, just like he did with the other Helluva Boss animation that I saw. I think in my opinion, I do like that one a bit more. But I also really liked how in this animation, Dwinny did put some Easter eggs in the show. Like for example, the portraits and Stolas' outfit that he wore at the very end. And I also am the person that likes seeing people do alternate universes or AUs when it comes to certain fandoms. Oh no, Marvel. I like seeing sometimes people draw human versions of the Hellverse characters, not just for Helluva Boss, but for Has Been Hotel. I think those are cool. That being said, Stolas is my favorite character, I'm not gonna lie, and it was pretty sad to see him go the way that he did in that animatic. That being said, did it traumatize me personally? No. I definitely think it was dark. It was a pretty dark video that I could see traumatizing a bit some other people. But like Ayla Mao and many commenters have said in the Reddit posts I've seen, there has been much more darker and disturbing content on the internet. And personally, just this video, though it has been in my brain since I've seen that edit all the time, and I wish it wasn't, and I wish it wouldn't be in my thought process every time I think about Stolas now, it'll go away and I can continue on with my life. You know, it's just one video for me. It's not gonna bother me, but I could see it being bothersome for other people. I think this is definitely a more scarier video for Helluva Boss than even the show has been known for. The show doesn't really give a lot of scary themes or scary subjects, even though this is a show about demons and imps and hell. Sometimes this animatic reminds me of things like the Terrifier movies, because those movies are also very dark and scary, and there are a lot of people out there that are saying that those movies should never have been made. But I am not one of those people. I like those movies. I cosplay Art the Clown. And this director, Damien Leone, is clearly making these movies for the sake of being creative and making movies. And I personally think that's what Dwinny was trying to do with this animatic. Listen, at the end of the day, this video is not canon. It's just someone trying to be creative on YouTube and give a different perspective to the story. And honestly, we'll never know what the creator had in mind when it came to this video, because the only way you can find him is through YouTube. There was a Blue Sky account on his YouTube, but it's deactivated. So we'll never really know outside of YouTube what his thought process was when making this video. So yeah, that's my thought. That's my video essay. I think I did get a little bit nervous, and I'm sorry if I sounded jumbled and all over the place, even after I edited this video and posted on YouTube. I saw a comment on Reddit that was like, I argue with Star Wars fans online and I'm even too scared to talk about this, and same. Granted, I don't argue with Star Wars fans either. That's scary, but I'm doing this instead, and I don't know if I should be more terrified or not. But it's just something that I wanted to talk about. This just came out a week ago as of recording this. I watched that edit 6 days after it was released. I'm sure this will come.
What the fuck was that, Moxie?
Come and go. Just like many of the other stuff that's been out on the internet, it'll just come and go. In the future, this will be a video to look back at. But that is a wrap for this video. I want to thank you guys so much for watching this video. I want to do more video essays like this. This was also a very interesting thing to talk about. If you want me to talk about more dark things on the internet, I can. To an extent. You know, I watch a lot of videos from like Wendigoon. I have been watching a lot of iceberg videos about the most disturbing like video games and movies. But I would be down, as long as it's not gonna be hurtful for me, I could definitely do some more videos about that. But also I could talk about nicer, happier, more fun stuff too. But yeah, if you enjoyed this video, go ahead and hit that like button. If you'd like to see more, go ahead and hit the subscribe button. And if you want to get notified for every time I post a video, hit that notification bell. I want to give Stolas a hug. And of course, this is all going on like weeks before an anime convention I'm going to is going on, and I'm cosplaying Octavia. And then I have a Stolas cosplayer too accompanying me, so I'm gonna just be like, yeah, thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you in the next one, and hopefully it's a more happier video. See ya.